You're now watching Qnews. Here are the top stories of this hour. The Israeli occupation army has detonated explosives planted inside houses in 3 border villages that have been battered by the war. The official Lebanese national news agency said the Israeli occupation army has been carrying out a bombing campaign inside the villages of Yaroun, Ataroun and Maroun al-Ras in the Bint Jebel area, with the aim of destroying residential homes there. Israeli media has reported that 10 rockets were launched from Lebanon, targeting the city of Lahyia and western Jalili. In a separate incident, the media also reported that 5 additional rockets were fired towards the Jalili Panhandle region, with some landing in open areas. Additionally, the occupation army reported that 10 rockets were detected in the latest barrage, targeting the Haifa and Nazareth area, with some intercepted. The United Nations cultural body UNESCO has announced it will be holding a meeting later this month to discuss strengthening protection for cultural sites in Lebanon as Israel intensifies its bombardment campaign. An extraordinary session of the UNESCO committee will take place at the organization's Paris headquarters on November the 18th to discuss adding Lebanese cultural sites in its international list of locations under enhanced protection and securing additional funding. Around 100 members of Lebanon's parliament sent an urgent message to the UNESCO calling for the protection of the country's heritage. Israel has announced expanding its offensive operations in northern Gaza, Beit, Lahyia. 4 civilians were killed and several others were injured in an Israeli shelling of Beit Lahyia, north of the Gaza Strip. Thousands of victims remain missing, either buried under the rubble or scattered on the roads, as rescue teams face tremendous difficulties in reaching them due to the continued Israeli attacks and the massive amount of debris. Six civilians have been killed and others have been injured in Israeli airstrikes targeting the Nusayrat refugee camp in the center of the Gaza Strip. Several civilians were also injured in the occupation's shelling of Halima el-Sadia school in Jabalia, north of the Strip. Palestinian death toll has surged to 43,508, the majority of whom are children and women, and 102,684 others have been also wounded. The Israeli occupation army committed 3 massacres against families in the Gaza Strip over the past 24 hours, resulting in the killing of 39 civilians and the injury of 123 others, according to medical sources. Turkey's UN ambassador Ahmed Yildiz and Palestinian UN envoy Riyad Mansour have urged the United Nations to halt arms transfers to Israel. They made the comments to reporters at the United Nations headquarters as they spoke on behalf of 52 countries that have consigned a letter to the UN calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Mansour stated that the countries should refrain from supplying Israel with weapons or any resources that could prolong the illegal occupation.
It reflects our grave concern over the unprecedented escalation of violence and the blatant violations of international law.
Director of UNRWA Affairs in the West Bank, Roland Friedrich, had warned that Israeli laws effectively ban the activities of UNRWA will likely severely curtail the agency's operations in East Jerusalem. the occupied West Bank and the Gaza Strip. He also said that it was unclear that the actual implications of the two Israeli bills would be. The laws are expected to come into effect in 3 months. UNRWA has been the main agency that was processing and distributing aid in the Gaza Strip.
If not made impossible. If these bills are indeed implemented as they are written, there would be, in our view, very concerning.
This concludes our top stories and headlines for this hour. Don't forget to follow Qnews on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram and TikTok at QNewsEG to stay informed. And for real-time updates, connect with us on the UMS digital platform. Watch it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more coming up here on Qnews.